Hello, everybody. My name is Corey Rosen, and you're listening to the Story Podcast. Today we have on a super awesome guest, Mr. Hob the Troll.
Thank you. Hello. Yes, welcome to me.
Hob the Troll has been performing at Renaissance Festival since 2002 across the entire country. The world's best singing bridge troll, confirmed. He's been performing in front of thousands, the young, the old, large venues, and small sheds. His show is a kid's show for adults and an adult show for kids. Don't get it confused. Hob, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
So, funnily enough, I was just talking to Hob before the show. I went to the Ren Fair for the first time in PA. First time ever.
The one in Lancaster. There's a couple of ones
ones.
in Pennsylvania, and two of them happen at the same time. But yes, the one
I
here.
was say the Pittsburgh one is going on right now.
Yes.
Too, yeah.
Finishing up, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
And my girlfriend showed me the schedule for it, and the first thing I looked at was Roxy the Air Show. I was like, okay, I have to see that. And then Hob the Troll, and I was like, I have to see whatever that is.
That's me.
And that's you. And we saw you, and you were wonderful, must I say.
Thank you very much. Was it at O'Malley's stage?
It was at the O'Malley stage, I believe so, yeah.
Because I've played a couple of different stages at that show, and I like the energy for O'Malley's. It's about the size of what I'm looking for an audience. Not too big, not too small, and there's not a show on immediately after that people are trying to get good seats for. Because I do another show at 4:30, and I start out with maybe like 7 or 8 people there. Because it's the end of the day. People have seen some stuff, but they want to see Arthur Greenleaf Holmes' last show, and I'm right before that, so people come and see me, and they get good seats for that show. But I assume it's all for me.
as you rightly should.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Hob, when did you start playing the guitar?
Oh, I started playing when I was very, very small. About like, let's say 12. Also took piano lessons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was she wasn't a witch. She was a sorcerer who lived on a farm, and yeah, she was I studied piano, but that's not gonna get the girls.
No.
I thought.
Why would it?
Well, playing guitar didn't either.
Oh well.
Yeah, but apparently, it's just. I mean, yeah, I just been playing music forever as long as I could. Started playing on the baritone ukulele, switched over to bass, played in a band for a while, then guitar, and then I'm back to the baritone ukulele.
Dude, that baritone ukulele is really cool, I must say.
They're a lot of fun.
They're so much fun.
So many times I see somebody who's interested in music, and they feel like, well, I gotta go and spend a couple $100, right? Get a Fender Squier, right? A little PV amp,
right?
And then they put it away because they don't sound good right at the beginning. Why not start with a baritone ukulele? Then you start off not sounding too good, and then you end up sounding, no, that's not too bad.
And it's really easy to play.
Yeah, they're cheap.
Yeah.
You got more room on the frets to move your fingers about.
Yeah, I know. I think a baritone. One of my friends has a baritone ukulele, and they sound wonderful.
Yeah,
and you never see them.
I'm seeing them a lot more.
I've seen them
good.
a lot. Yeah, you're right. I have seen them a lot more, but I think it's still a unique instrument.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So when you started as a young boy, when did you start writing your own stuff? What did you? Or here's the first question before we get to that.
Let's do it.
What was your first love, music wise?
The first love, music. Wow. Well, that's a great question. I was listening to stuff that my dad's friend made for me on a cassette tape.
Oh, really?
And I figured out later on what it was. It was like Elvis Costello's Armed Forces album.
There you go.
And like some 13th Floor Elevators and a lot of Eric Burton stuff. And then some Cab Calloway and some Howlin' Wolf. Yeah.
That's a good...
Yeah,
good upbringing on
it really is.
Yeah.
It was almost you don't usually think that that's a suitable gift for a child.
No,
but
no.
It worked out great for me.
It gives you a solid music base.
Yeah, and and then once I got older and started listening to stuff that I sought out and looked for myself. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited to be playing in Pennsylvania is I got into the Dead Milkmen really early.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you grow up listening to the Dead Milkmen, chances are you have a good chance of becoming an internationally successful bridge troll who sings at Renaissance festivals.
That's right.
Yeah.
So at what point did you want to branch out and do your own stuff?
Well, I took piano lessons. It was just like I wanted to play other music, but that's not what I was being taught. And I realized later, like, I was learning the foundation of that. But I would just listen to music for hours and hours. And I got into, a lot of folk music, see a lot of that live. There wasn't a lot of stuff to do growing up under a bridge. So you form a band with some guys, get together. There was like this lanky ogre looking guy. And another fellow who played drums. Yeah.
And what'd you do? How'd you start writing?
Well, I started writing once I just decided, you know what, I need to start having my own stuff out there because I wanted to start performing at fairs, and it's better to have, I thought, to have all originals than just like playing there's only really, when you think about it, if you go to a Renaissance fair, there's only like about 24 songs that you hear over and over again, and the Wild Rover is 2 of them.
You're right.
So I wrote my first album called Hob Sings, which was named after the chef on Bonanza. But that album isn't available anymore, but I still do some of the songs, like Trolls Need Lovin' 2.
That's right, we heard that one.
Yeah, but I started writing some more songs just so I'm like, well, I could probably do this.
That's so. One of the things that was super interesting about your stuff is that you pulling back the curtain just a little bit. You've created this character. You're Hob the Troll.
That's me.
And you write stories that explain your life, explain your situation, explain the love life or lack of that you have.
Yeah, it's easier to do that with song and more entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm just like, hey, everybody, come and listen to me talk about my feelings while you're at a Renaissance festival.
That's right.
It's better to have an accordion to do it.
That's right. You do have an accordion too.
I do.
I was so happy.
Oh, good.
When you brought out the accordion. I only know 2 accordion players in this local area. Now I know 3.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you know if they have multiple accordions? Because I'm sure that they do.
They do.
They absolutely do.
Yeah.
That's just what happens.
I know you get one and then you get it's like the cat distribution system.
Yeah, it attracts other accordions. I got an auto harp now.
Really? I have
an
an auto harp.
Yep.
I also have an accordion actually.
See, there you go. Stop playing it, you're gonna get a sousaphone before you know it.
I was really good at playing the sousaphone. My background is composition.
Yes.
And so I had to take brass lab and stuff like that.
Ooh.
And sousaphone was one of my favorites because it's big. It's a big mouthpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And I got big lips, and that always works out.
See, this is what we're doing right now. Is there are lots of songs that I record that I'm like, oh, I wish I had a horn section, because right now I just play kazoo. I layer a lot of layers of kazoo, and that's kind of the wall of sound.
That's kind of cool though.
It is, but boy oh boy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk after this is over. We're gonna have to.
I can get you connected to so many good horn players.
Absolutely, that's my dream, if I may be so bold.
Oh, go for it.
I want to, I don't want to be James Brown because he had a lot of problems, but I want to have that moment where there's a full band behind me. They've all got matching outfits. I got a horn section. I come out in a cape. I sing all the time, and I get too tired. They take me away with the cape, and then I come back and sing some more. I don't know if we can do that at that stage, though, but we're going to try.
Yeah, you can figure it out, yeah.
Yeah.
There's always possibilities.
Can I tell you, we are open for student days today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How was that?
Not good.
No.
No.
Why?
Bunch of middle schoolers.
I guess that does sound pretty bad.
Yeah. All in relatively unsupervised groups.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, just the worst kind of people. But they like the show.
That's good.
Because there's always going to be some bullies anywhere you go, and
of course.
And if you're by yourself at a well, not by yourself, you're on a, what's the word I'm looking for? Unsupervised, unchaperoned, because they ditch their chaperones as soon as they can.
Oh, of course.
And why wouldn't they? But there's nothing worse than that. But then you find the true weirdos who come to you and they're like, "Oh, you're cool." I'm like, "Yes." Yes. Let me introduce you to weird music.
That's right.
That's all we can do.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. And That's one of the things I really do enjoy about teaching is like
Mm-hmm.
getting. I love 70s and 80s music. That's where my heart's
Absolutely.
at,
Yes.
and I love showing that to kids nowadays who don't typically don't get to hear that stuff because a lot of their, I'm teaching what Gen X's and Gen Z's kids now
Right.
almost. And it's like they have never heard of like Elton John or Queen or stuff
Mhm.
like that, and it's like, oh, what a sin to humanity to not
Well,
know of.
It's okay.
It is okay. It's
You know,
okay.
that's how else are they supposed to learn except
That's
through
true.
us? I
That's
grew
right.
up learning about stuff that was way older than me. I mean, I'm from the Renaissance for crying out loud.
Yeah, right.
You know, these kids don't know who Sir Francis Drake is, and why would
No,
they?
why would they? Come find out at the PA Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, he's a whisper fellow. But yeah, it's all about musical education and finding little bits and pieces of stuff and putting it out there and arranging it to make it your own.
So, well, question if you're from the Renaissance Fair,
Yes.
what's your favorite piece of Renaissance music?
My favorite piece of Renaissance. Well, you can't go wrong with a Korabushka because we all grew up learning it. We're listening to Tetris, playing Tetris.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's surreal. It goes over and
It
over
goes,
again.
yep, over
So
and
when
over.
it's done, it's there. But you can learn a lot about loops. You can
Mhm.
learn a lot about lots of stuff.
You know, I'm having so much fun.
Oh, good. Me too.
So, where does a troll acquire such lovely gear?
Oh, I find it. You know, I travel all around, so I don't. I think the accordion I'm playing now was given to me by a patron.
That makes sense.
I think it was they were getting rid of it.
That's how it often happens.
Yeah, they're
That's-
like, "Hey, I'm moving. Please take this from me." I'm like,
that's
"Yeah."
how I got my accordion.
Yeah. The baritone. I've gone through 2 or 3 baritone ukuleles in my day because I play them real hard and fast,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not built to last for long.
No, they're not.
Like I'm getting a lot of mileage out of it.
That's good.
Yeah. It's Willie Nelson's guitar trigger. You know how it's got that sound hole that he made just by
Mhm.
like that's where mine's at.
Oh,
Very
jeez.
close to yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, all of the frets are kind of worn down. So I'll probably be getting a new one in the next couple of years, but let's see. When I'm in the studio, I play a lot of Dan Electro stuff.
Really?
Yeah, because it was cheap when I bought it.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
There
gets the
you go.
job done.
It does get the job done.
If you can make something, not too expensive sound like $1 million, or in my case, hundreds of dollars.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not shooting for $1 million. If I break $1,000, that is a good day.
Right.
I
gotta know, where'd you get your hat from?
Oh, I made it.
You made it.
Well, it was just a regular old hat, and then it has acquired different
Bits and bobs.
well, Eldritch Horrors is the best way to see it.
Sure.
I have a song. There's an old song called "Where Did You Get That Hat?" that I guess they've been putting in that Enola Gay Holmes show. What is that show?
That's a great question.
You
I'm
know,
not entirely sure.
the listeners know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
they'll know.
Yeah, they use it in a lot of turn of the last century's Victorian era stuff. But I rewrote it about how my hat is built with Eldritch Horrors because it's got a dragon foot on it. It's made out of harpy leather. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Thank you.
Where do people find such things? Just
Oh,
out and about?
Well, you can find a similar, not as great hat at Renaissance festivals.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and then it's kind of a Ship of Theseus hat.
Right,
this
right,
time.
yeah.
Stuff breaks off. You weld it on.
Yep.
I got a fish in the hat.
You do? I did see that.
Yeah, you know why I don't have 2?
Why?
Because they'd fight. You don't want to have 2 fish in your hat.
Never want to have 2 fish.
No,
in your hat. It's
good
not
heavens.
good. Then you get 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish.
See,
you don't want that.
No, that's a total of 4 fish if I'm doing the math correctly.
Can't
Well,
have
unless
that.
one of the fish is red and one of the fish is blue.
Then it's 2. And it's still not good.
Oh, well, yeah, you
still
don't want
fight.
them to fight.
No, I don't want them to
It's a
fight.
mess.
Well, we have some of your songs here.
Oh, good.
Would you like to play them?
Yes,
Shall we start with Potions?
let's do potions.
Tell me about Potions.
I wrote this song. So I was talking to a very good friend of mine whose name is Steph Ward, and I said, "Hey, Steph, what should I write a song about? Don't think, just say." And she goes, when you mix a bunch of drinks together, at a vending machine or at one of those
Oh yeah.
one machine, and you just get a little
Yep.
bit of everything." And I'm like, "Say no more." And I wrote this song.
Well, let's take a listen to Potions by Hob the Troll.
When my friends and I get thirsty, there's only one thing to do. We mix some drinks together and then try not to spew. Be we home or on the town, who knows if we will drink it down. Others seem to gather round, we call it making potions. It's not all gross and horrible, sometimes it can be nice. On hot days mixing flavors that we pour over ice. Sugary sweet, it quenches thirst, our tummies filling up to burst. The belches we produce are worse, we call it making potions. Potions, potions, each worse than the other. Potions, potions, we're making each other sick. Get orange juice and ginger ale, 1 pot milk, not skim but whole. Mix them together, watch it curdle and pour it down. You're talking whole. Cola, wine, and Gatorade. What we do is a crime of food. 7-Up and pickle juice. That's one fine. We don't mess with anything that you wouldn't already drink. We stay away from most shampoos and stuff under the sink. 'Cause we don't want to die. We just want to try to mix Red Bull and chai. We call it making potions. Potions, potions, for one drink in the other. Potions, potions, people think we're dumb. Tomorrow we'll feel awful. How could this be foreseen? I left some glasses in the sink that my mom has to clean. It's grody, but we love our friends. Soon enough, our guts will mend. We'll laugh and do it all again. Call it making potions. Potions, potions, flavor innovation. Potions, potions, of still our recipes. Potions, potions, let's do this together. Potions, potions, we're going to make a mess.
And that was Potions by Hob the Troll off your new album.
Yes, it's called Stop Making Songs.
Why?
Because it's like stop making sense, but stop making songs.
Is that something you want to do in the future?
There's a thing. Stop making songs. I can't. I
There
can't
you go.
stop. But all of my album titles, from the just I just want to come up with a funny way to do an album that people know.
Mm.
So the first album I did of all covers was called Pet Smells, and then 50 Million Hob Fans Can't Be Found, and now Stop Making Songs. I also have some Christmas albums.
Really?
Yeah, Troll of the Ancient Yuletide Carols.
There you go.
Got multiple volumes of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you can find these only on Bandcamp.
Only on Bandcamp. That's right. Yeah.
And speaking of that, it is Bandcamp Friday, this coming Friday.
That's right. October, whatever it is.
October, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We could probably. It's the
We
4th.
could look.
It's the 4th.
It's the 4th. Yes.
Yes, it will
True.
be the 4th.
Correct.
And Bandcamp Fridays is once a month, where all proceeds that you buy off any artist goes directly to the artist. Bandcamp doesn't take a cut.
Right. You can get my stuff on the just any time throughout the. I don't care. But that's a special day where they waive the fees.
That's right.
But you could also stream my stuff twice. You can listen to all my songs twice.
Only twice.
For free.
For free.
And then you gotta if you want, you can pony up some cash. Or just, reset your browser. I don't care.
Yeah, right. Or sign up with a different email.
Right, exactly. I got a lot of fake emails to get a lot of free Red Robin. I tell you that. But yeah.
A troll's got to do what a troll's got to do.
Listen, you got to exploit the system.
Oh, 100%.
To get free cheeseburgers.
That's right. What not to be an American besides get free cheeseburgers?
That's right.
That's
yes.
right.
Even though I'm vaguely European.
Vaguely European.
Just kidding. I'm from England.
Seriously?
Detroit, England. It's the same part of England that Madonna's from.
Really?
Yeah, Detroit.
That's a fun fact.
I know.
That is so fun. I didn't even know there was a Detroit, England. That threw me for a loop for a second.
No, there isn't.
There isn't? Oh,
no, it's Detroit, but we talk like we're from England.
I see.
Yes.
Got you. That did throw me for a loop.
You never know with me.
That's okay.
I'm
talking to a troll.
That's right. You're doing great.
So, Detroit, I've seen you've made your way to Florida. Where's one place that the Hob the Troll wants to go?
Oh, I want to go. I have a lot of friends who do a lot of fringe festivals. And my friend Pipsy Pinwheel just did Edinburgh fringe
that
festival.
Is in
Scotland.
the UK,
yeah. And I might try to throw my hand for that.
I wonder what the Ren fairs are like over there.
Oh, well, it's different because they just have like Morris dancing. Like, because that is just like a regular old history thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They don't have, turkey legs or nothing.
Dude, those turkey legs are giant.
They're giant.
They're humongous.
People don't know what they're getting.
No, they don't. They are this big.
Yes. About the size
of my head.
Yeah, about the size of a person's head. And I'm going to say this. Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival is probably the most affordable turkey leg on the circuit.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So I would have not guessed that.
Oh, yeah, other places charge more, but you know what? Ours are a little bit better, if I do say so myself.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So, I'm going to ask you some questions as Hob the Troll.
Absolutely, that's me.
And then we can get some questions that are not about Hob the Troll.
Oh.
Yeah. So, for Hob the Troll, what is one thing that you're still working on as a troll musician? It's
hard to... If people don't know what I'm all about, it's hard to do a cold sell on them. If people are just kind of walking up and being like, Hob the Troll, what's that? I'm like, oh, I sing songs and I'm a troll. That's not a lot for people to go off of.
No, it's not.
So they kind of have to hear me, or they have to get like, someone says, oh, you should go and see this show. But that's coming along pretty nicely. I've been doing this festival for about this is my third year here, and slowly but surely I've gotten a pretty good following.
That's good.
But it takes time.
Yes.
It takes word of mouth.
100%, especially where there's so much to do within one day of
Oh
being
my
there.
goodness, yeah.
There's so much to do. I didn't expect there to be that much to do. And so many good things, too. Did you, well, I guess maybe not, but did you see that they have a Whose Jest Is It Anyway?
Yeah, I know some of those folks.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I am such a fan of Who's Line.
Yeah, they got a place where you could buy bottles and break them.
That's right.
Yeah.
They got axe throwing.
Uh-huh.
And they had legitimate swords to buy.
Yeah.
And axes?
Uh-huh.
I was blown away.
There's a lot to do.
There's so much to do.
See, so many... And the thing is, I'll talk to some of my comedian friends, and they're like, oh, Renaissance Festival. I'm like, well, I'm a troll. What am I going to do, a cruise?
Right.
They're not going to let me on that boat.
No.
They're going to try to drown me. It's happened before. I don't want it to happen again.
Your bridge got flooded.
Oh, well... No, that's a mister it's got on the top of it, yeah, for when it gets hot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess it would be hard to sell it because, well, how many Renaissance fairs are there across the circuit?
Oh, so it's easy to think there's like 2 or 3 in every state.
Really?
Yeah. Some of them are longer than others, but yeah, you can work your whole year in different states.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that something you're working towards, or something?
I do, but I don't want to be away from the bridge too long. Good heavens.
Sure. What do you think is the hardest part about being away from your bridge?
Oh, I miss my cats.
It's always the cats. Isn't
Yeah, no, they miss me a lot. I miss them.
There you go.
Yeah.
When does their song about cats coming out?
Oh my goodness, I don't know if we're ready.
It's gonna be a long, deep song, isn't it?
And besides, people, I have enough. The last thing I want is Andrew Lloyd Webber on my ass.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Jellicle this, Jellicle that.
Right. One of the other things we were talking about during the break is that you play all these instruments yourself.
I do, yes. I play all the instruments. Sometimes I have a little bit of help with a garage band will teach me how to play drums, and then I'll play along with them just to kind of figure out what I'm doing. But yeah, I play all the instruments. Sometimes well, sometimes not so well, but it doesn't matter because
you're a troll.
And that's what songs require.
100%. No, I was gonna say humanity, but
sure.
I guess yeah, sure. This has been kind of a conversation on the podcast before, but especially with like AI music coming out, you got to have the imperfections.
Yeah. It can be a useful tool to kind of sketch out, but then after that, you just kind of work over it and just build over it and on top of it, and then you can take it out.
Build a better bridge.
Yeah,
that's right. So we're gonna get to another one of your songs called "Tongue Tied."
Well, that song is actually a cover.
Ah, well,
that song was a cover by Wanda Jackson.
Yeah, and do you do anything special to it?
I play real fast.
Let's hear it, shall we?
Let's do it. Oh, great good golly, she thrills me so. When the apple of my eye whispers in my ear, I get real speechless and I act so shy. And all I can say is, I get tongue-tied. Oh, I get tongue-tied. Yeah, I go way up to what you see on, I love you. Yeah. I met her one day at the candy shop when my heart started popping like a popcorn pop. She walked up to me and she said, "Hi, sweetie pie." And all I could say was, I get tongue-tied. Oh, I get tongue-tied. Yeah, I went out. Yeah. I love you. Yeah. I love her so much and she loves me too. She's my blue-eyed honey, stand 6 feet 2. I get itchy, twitchy feeling when she looks into my eyes. But all I can say is I get tongue-tied. Oh, I get tongue-tied. Yeah, I go on. Baby, listen, I love you. Yeah. And all I can say is I get tongue-tied. Oh! I love you. I do. I have feelings for you, and they all. Oh heavens. Oh.
And that was Tongue Tied. And Hob the Troll had to leave.
Yeah.
So we have Steve-O instead.
Hello. I was just walking by the studio.
That's right. And I grabbed him real quick.
Yeah.
And here he is.
Hello.
So, Steve-O.
Yes.
As Steve-O.
Yes.
Have you ever played outside of Hob the Troll?
I have been a working actor for most of my adult life. I've written and performed in dinner theaters in Northville. I work another Renaissance festival that I'm not Hob the Troll at, the Sterling Renaissance Festival. I've done a lot of improv, a lot of writing.
Yes, we did a lot of improv. That was really fun.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy that. I was Shrek.
Okay.
And in high school, whatever that means. But I do love the acting. I love the improv, and it's something I want to get back into for sure. But me as an introvert, it's kind of a little scary.
But see, that's why you gotta do it.
That's why you gotta exist. That's 100. That's why I'm doing this.
And
pretty much is improv.
Improv and stand up. It's important to learn how to do because it's a regular old life skill.
Yeah,
it's just talking to people.
100%. And especially if you're an introverted, you gotta know how to talk to people. If you want to get anything, or if you want to get anything done or anywhere in your life, you gotta talk to people. And there's a lot of stuff you can do on your own, but.
And one of the reasons why Hob is such a I'm able to do it so successfully is because you can get a lot. You can get away with a lot behind a mask.
100%.
It's you can say stuff you wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable saying, but
you can just laugh it off as
reveal
that
truths.
was the troll.
Yeah. I mean, masks have been around.
Quite literally all of humanity.
Yeah.
Just about. So what inspired you to come up with Hob the Troll?
I was working, so I wanted to work at the Renaissance Festival. I knew I wanted to be something that wasn't just a peasant or a lord or whatever. And they had some storybook characters at the Michigan Renaissance Festival, and but they also had some Shakespearean characters. So I was Puck from Midsummer, and they just stuck me in the children's dell the whole time. I'm like, well, I gotta make myself so grotesque that they won't want me around kids. And so I came up with this troll character, and it used to be a lot more surly than I am now.
It's a $5 word.
Yeah, but it was just I knew that there was something there. I knew that the idea of I could kind of hide behind a mask of being scary but not being scary.
Right.
That appealed to me very much.
Yes.
Like I get to be as close to a Muppet as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
So, where did you have the teeth?
Yeah.
You got the hat. You got the ears. Where do you find these things?
I made all those things.
Really?
Yeah, and I taught myself how to do it just because I'm like, well, I need these things.
Yeah.
I better learn how to make them.
And they're expensive.
They can be like.
They can be. Yeah.
The ears. When I was I learned how to inject foam latex into molds. Learned how to mold my ears. Made a life cast of that. Made a life cast of my mouth to make the teeth. I taught myself how to do that because I'm like, I want control over this. I want to learn how to, if I'm going to do this, I want to know how everything is made.
Right.
Just in case something breaks or whatever.
100%. And with that, how does your dentist feel about your...
They're fine, mostly.
Mostly?
Yeah, I went to this new guy, and he's like, oh, your canines are wearing down. You're probably grinding your teeth at night. I'm like, no, it's not what I'm doing. And he's like, well, you got to stop doing that. I'm like, no, that's how this is being paid for. Like, and I showed him the appliance, and they were able to fix it a little bit, so it's a little less wear and tear on my teeth. But yeah,
That because I feel like those are the things that you wouldn't really think about all that much, but then you're like, oh, or so your dentist will point something out, and it's
yeah. Well, I knew, I had a retainer when I was a kid, and
oh sure, okay,
people are always asking, like, oh, is that uncomfortable to have in? Like, I mean, as much as anything is.
yeah, right,
We both wear glasses. When we
Yep.
when we hadn't wore glasses, you just put something on your face. You kind of forget that they're there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how hard was it? I mean, you obviously kind of had a lisp at that point. Was that planned, or is that just how you speak?
So
at
what
that point?
happens is the teeth, pull your jaw forward a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's where if you're just listening to this, you can hear as I'll be talking, and I'm just pushing the bottom jaw out as it's jutting out, and then to put the teeth there, and then it's just where the voice lives. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. A
And
lot
you
of
have
it came from that. A lot of it came from, old UK comedy shows, learning how, I have dialect training as well.
That's fun.
Some of it came from my great aunt. Some of the voice, some of the, the pitch intonations and all that stuff. You pick up little verbal quirks from folks.
And so, as Steve-O,
Mm-hmm.
where would you like to see this in like 5 years?
It's it's funny we were talking about the so I am 40 oh god, hold on. 43 years old. I realize that I am going to be I can't keep doing this forever.
That's right.
So it'd be great to do this entirely as a puppet. So I could just have a puppet, just have it kind of going on. I don't know how that would work yet.
Right.
But do the show as a puppet, and then rest of the day, I'm in my civvies, just walking around.
Sure, that'd be.
And I've talked to friends who work for Henson. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
No, it's not.
I've also, I taught myself how to make teeth. I can learn how to make puppets.
And you can learn how to puppeteer.
Well, see that, and I've got a little bit of training in that as well.
100%.
So.
Yeah. that'd be I think your biggest hurdle, just about.
Yeah, well, I had a little bit of training for that.
Have you?
So yeah,
that's awesome. Don't mind the ambient noises going on in the background.
You'll excuse me, I had a bean for lunch.
Right. Setting up for open mic here at the SRCC, which you should come check out sometime.
Absolutely.
Every Wednesday, we have them 7 to 11 right here at the SRCC. This one's a special one because it's my birthday party.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. I can finally rent a car.
Very good.
Why they made it 25, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's 25, yeah.
So, what do you think, people in your line of industry, what do you think is some of the biggest mistakes that maybe can be made, or maybe you've made yourself? How can we curb that?
There's no one way to do anything.
Sure.
I think the biggest mistake people can make is wanting to get famous real quick, real fast.
Yeah.
It's because that's boring, in my opinion. Sure, I'd like people to see my show. I'd like people to come and attend, sit in my audience and enjoy my albums, but I make a nice living from doing this. I'm more than happy to do it, and I get opportunities like this. I get to meet new people. I get to travel all over the world. I think the idea that everything has to be planned out within an inch of its life can be a mistake.
I would agree with that.
At the same time, just going in completely unprepared and without a vision, that's just as bad.
I would agree with that too.
Like you do whatever you're gonna like. If you're interested in getting, I was telling this to a friend of mine who a couple of years ago, it was her first year working the Sterling Renaissance Festival, and she wanted to come up with a character, or she wanted to do a stage show to try to sell at other shows.
Mm-hmm.
And she got so wrapped up with trying to explain everything about this character. I'm like, you don't have to. You just gotta. It's a show.
Right.
You know, anybody you go and see at performing, you will learn about them by watching them perform.
That's right.
It doesn't have to be, one man show or of like, here is all of my life in history, and it all has to get down really, and you all have to know all these details. Some stuff just leave blank space on the page.
It's more fun for the audience to figure that stuff out anyway, as opposed to, and that's a big criticism of movies, right? They just
Oh my God!
explain it all.
I saw the worst movie I've seen in a long time recently, and it was the sequel to Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
My God, I've never been so disappointed by a movie in all my life. Just all of the explanation. It's, what do they say in screenwriting? Show, don't
tell.
Yeah, they did a whole lot of telling.
I know.
And they yelled at Winona Ryder a lot, and it was all unnecessary. Like you were talking about Hobbs' hat.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a song about it.
Mm-hmm.
I took a song that already existed, and I made it into a song about my hat. That's the thing that happened.
Yeah.
I wrote, like I said, I wrote Potions because me and my friend Steph were riffing one day. You can find, if you want to be creative, you can find stuff around.
Right.
Yeah.
You should never really explain if you're playing a character. You should never really explain. I mean, you could say, "Hey, I'm Hob the Troll." That enough is a good enough introduction. I live under a bridge. Great.
Yeah,
that's literally it.
That's why the theme song is what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I thought we had that. We actually don't have that one today.
Oh, the theme song.
No. But
well, that's because I used to have a podcast, and I had I commissioned it from this guy Corey Eno Ruffin, and
another Corey.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to give you a thing that I didn't record.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've been thinking about getting back into the Hobcast, and
so tell me about that. What's the deal with the Hobcast?
I recorded it as a way to meet people who I wanted to talk to.
This is exactly why I do this podcast.
Yeah. It's a great way to be like, hey, person whose work I like, I want to get a chance to sit down and pick your brain.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's 100% it.
I had people from Mystery Science Theater 3000. I had my stand-up comedian friends that I know. I'm just like, I want to. Well, you're probably not going to invite me on your show, but I'll invite you on my show.
Right.
And
you've had some of the people from the PA Renaissance Fair.
I have, yep. Let's see, Buckle and Swash have been on it.
Was it the unicorn lady that?
Different one.
Different one. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see who else. Pipsy has been on a couple times. Pipsy Pinwheel. And Arthur Greenleaf Holmes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And if you want to find out more about that,
I'm gonna hobthetroll.com. The old episodes are still there. I don't know how good they are, but that's fine. That's the other thing is I don't care about like the artist in me wants to go back and fix everything, but then I'm like, no, don't leave it. It's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Move on, do something else.
That's why I do this live.
Yeah.
If I sit there and edit it,
oh God,
it's never gonna get done.
Yeah.
And that's why I apologize to some of the people that I pre-recorded episodes with, and they're not out. that's why. I'd like to do them live. Don't have to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I say something stupid, oh well.
Editing has its place, but sometimes like I said earlier, that blank space on the page, that's where something else can happen, or it brings more focus to what is there.
Right.
Yeah.
And before we continue on, we do have one more song from your new album. I do want to get to that and play that. It is How to Dance for When I'm Dead.
Yes.
Tell me about this.
So a buddy of mine was putting together a Halloween compilation album, and
I'm doing that too.
Yeah, and he wasn't able to do it in time, and I think he's kind of given up on the idea. But I'm like,
oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I still wrote a song about it. I still wrote a song. There's a lot of songs about dancing skeletons. That is a big genre.
There's a whole meme of that.
Yeah, not only but a meme, but there's like from the 40s on. It's not just Monster Mash. There are a bunch of songs.
No,
about
there's a lot.
a lot of dancing skeleton things. And I wrote a song about like, well, how do these skeletons learn to dance? That sounds like you got to learn how to dance first. So that's what I wrote the song.
Well, let's take a listen.
When autumn leaves start falling, the pumpkin patch starts calling. All the ghosts and skeletons will start to creak and moan. They hear the distant devil drums, trumpets blowing, angels from they'll gather for a party from beneath the cold headstone. I'm still among the breathing folk, but before I go and drop and croak, I'm shining up my dancing shoes, learning how to shake. I want to learn to cut some rugs before my guts are filled with bugs. I'll be dancing in the graveyard when the spirits do awake. I'm learning how to dance for when I'm dead. I'm learning how to dance for when I'm dead. Well, bounce and spin in the moon's glow. My smile is bright, it's quite a show. I'm learning how to dance for when I'm dead. Grinning skulls will drop their jaw. The vampire crew will be in awe. Ghouls will pop their eyeballs out and give them to some witches. We all will laugh and howl and play as we rock to the macabre. Black cats will do a caterwaul. Zombies will be in stitches. All things shall pass, this is our fate. So a pop and lock, it's not too late. From cranium to phalanges, they'll all be in the groove. We'll bop and slam and jump and swing till the cockroach grows or some such thing. Right now I'm still just practicing, and I hope to improve. I'm learning how to dance for when I'm dead. I'm learning how to dance for when I'm dead. We'll bounce and spin in the moon's glow. My smile is bright, it's quite the show. I'm learning how to dance for when I'm dead. Ah!
And that was How to Dance for When I'm Dead by Hob The Troll. Not this guy, by Hob The Troll.
I helped a little.
So, getting back to stuff that I like to ask all my guests.
Yes.
What is, if someone wanted to get into this business,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say?
Yeah.
Just do it.
It's the last. Renaissance festivals are very unique in that they are the last vestiges, in my opinion, of vaudeville and variety.
Sure.
Right? We are traveling performers. We each have our own little shtick. A lot of jugglers, a lot of whip crack folks, a lot of comedians, a lot of musicians.
Flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Flame eaters.
Yeah.
Sword eaters,
And
whatever.
we do it in the guise of, this is the Renaissance, but it's also like, this used to be of the vaudeville variety circuit.
Circus,
It's what
yeah.
It's what it used to be, and it's what it still is. And I'm able to perform with and for some absolutely fantastic people, world-class talent. If you can, if you're local, find your closest fair, see about a resident cast situation. Get on that. Once they'll give you some pretty good training to put you on the path. There are auditions for festivals going around all the time. Keep your eye out for that. There's this thing called Renlist, which is a website that just kind of lists. It's a calendar of like all of the Renaissance festivals in the country.
That's awesome.
And like look for ones around there. Like look for do some research, see what you might. Oh, this fair looks good, or this. Hey, I like what this folk is doing. Go and visit those shows. If you like what they're doing, find out how to audition. From there, maybe you develop your own character while you're there. Maybe you get seen by one of the other performers. And I work with some friends who this was their first year at the Sterling Renaissance Festival, and they got picked up by the Washwell Wenches, so they are Washwell Wenches
There you go.
at some other shows. But don't be afraid to just fail miserably, because the worst thing you can do is I'll just try it again. That's the best thing about what we do, is because there's so many people coming in and through the door. You try a bit, doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to try a little bit different with somebody else. And you get to, build that up in practice.
And you can never, sometimes you want to take rejection. But in this industry, you're going to get rejected way more than you won't.
And again, if you start off at the resident cast level, there's there's space for you. They kind of expect people are going in there super green, and they can we can train you to dare to suck.
Right? Yeah, 100%. No, I totally agree with it. If you want to get into the music industry, just do it. And there's no, like you said earlier, there's no right or wrong way about it.
Oh yeah, and as far as putting out music, writing music and putting out stuff, just figure out if you can sing or play an instrument into a place that can digitally record that and put it on Bandcamp. Guess what? You're a musician.
That's right.
One of my favorite bands is Guided by Voices.
Mm-hmm.
Guided by Voices put out 3 albums last year. Wow. Yeah, they have 44 albums.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Rob Pollard doesn't remember half of them.
Right.
But you try it out, you work it out, and you just keep on, you figure it out by doing it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's perfect, because you're going to become most musicians are perfectionists, right? It's never going to be perfect for you. You can spend hours twisting knobs and pushing faders. There's so much stuff. Just put it out.
Yeah.
And not all of your stuff is going to be great, and that's okay too.
But you'll learn how to do it.
Yeah, it's a skill.
For the next time. You
gotta write 100 songs that suck to get that one that's halfway decent. You know
right.
What I mean?
So
what is I have 2 more questions for you. What is the worst or funniest thing that's ever happened to you on stage?
Okay. I was doing a Renaissance Festival.
You had this.
Oh
already.
God, yeah. I was working a Renaissance Festival at Grand Valley State University in the Western Michigan, and it was something that it was a 1 weekend thing. It wasn't a full festival. It was just they knew a few people who let's ask a handful of people to come out. They had a stage, a bunch of people, a bunch of vendors, and it was on campus. And it's a small campus, but we were outside of a college, a regular old working college. And it wasn't a college in a town. It was you kind of had to go to it. It's almost a commuter college. Anyway, there was a wedding going on that weekend too at one of the other pavilion spaces. And so I'm performing my set, and I see going down the path. It was a very small fair, only one. There's basically 2 roads and then booths in between, about 24 booths or so. And I see a Buick just driving very, very slowly up toward me and past my show. And then, because they had gotten lost in terms of we need to park the car here for the wedding. So just having my set where I'm trying to bring people to the fantasy of living in a storybook medieval village, and just a wedding
Buick.
party Buick. And they did it on purpose. You know, they were like, oh, let's drive through it. Ha, ha, ha. Like, they weren't going fast.
Right.
Like, the foot was not on the gate. It was also just so slow. Where we just all had to just stop and...
That is hilarious.
Well, here's the song again. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's one of the... Yeah, I was questioning my choices at that point, but...
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's what life's all about, huh?
Hopefully the marriage dissolves. Who's to say? Who's to say?
Right.
No, I hope they're very happy.
I hope they're very happy too. Last thing.
Yes.
Where can people find you at?
You can go to hobthetroll.com, or more specifically, hobthetroll.bandcamp.com. That's HOBTheTroll.bandcamp.com.
There you go. And if you'd like to find everything that we do over here at the Story Podcast, you can go to CoreyRosenProductions.com. That's CORYROSEN Productions.com. You can find out all the stuff that we've got going on at the SRCC. We have a Super Smash Bros. Tournament coming up.
Oh, who's your main?
I don't main. I just putting on the show.
Okay.
I would pick Sora probably.
All right.
Or Yoshi.
Rob.
I
go Rob.
There you go. The reason why I don't play Smash Bros. Is because every person I play with just beats the shrimp out of me, and I can't. I hate it. I get mad. I'm very competitive, and people do not give me the room to beat them up.
I am the least competitive person you'll ever meet, and it's just like, oh, okay, button mash.
Right, exactly. But
Yeah.
I get mad, and that's why I don't watch sports anymore.
Oh,
So,
okay.
But anyway, you can go over there and check it out. It's happening November 9th. We have a short cinema showcase coming up this weekend. That's where we showcase local short cinema.
Cool.
And that'll be really fun. And then you can find out all the other stuff that I do, my music, the movies that we've got coming out. I've got a movie coming out next year in theaters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Called Towns of the Phoenix. It's like a spoof on World War II.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Lots of fun. Otherwise, you can always catch us back here on the YouTube channel or wherever you're watching this.
Finish out the rest of the month at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival.
That's 100%. You can also find Hob there at the Renaissance. That's going on until November?
The last weekend of October. Buy tickets online. They're going fast.
They are going fast.
Yeah, we've been sold out on Saturdays. Sunday, come on out.
So, with all that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you guys later.
Mwah.
Bye.